What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Contractor Secrets Podcast. In today's business breakthrough, I sit down with Nikolay Danav from SNN Painting. And listen, you guys know that if I had to pick one area of business that was my absolute favorite, that I could just focus on and talk about, it would be sales. And in this episode, I'm just going back and forth with Nikolay on some great sales advice, really good conversation to help him overcome the pricing barrier of people wanting to go with the lowest price. And this is a very, very, very common problem. And we came up with some really good strategy to help him do so. So check this one out. You're really going to enjoy it. Stay tuned for the business breakthrough. The big question you need to ask yourself every day is, do I own a job or do I own a business? And unfortunately, the majority of contractors out there own a job. That's right, they're a slave to their own business. But the other side of the fence is so much greener, it's so much better, and that's when you're finally fully in control of your destiny, your freedom, your time. And that's what Contractor Secrets is about. It's about taking back our time, building a business with systems, standards, values, procedures, putting yourself in the driver's seat. And that's what it's about. So I'm excited. I'm happy to have you here. Let's dive into the Contractor Secrets Podcast. Busy, and let's just get started. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Business Breakthrough. I got Nikolay here, Nick for short, with SNN Painting. And we're just going to talk. I think the big topic today was sales. That was something that we wanted to discuss, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, let's talk. You're the owner of the business, right? Do you have any partners?
Yes.
Or is it just you?
No,
Okay.
It's just me.
Who do you have working with you? How many people do you have working with you?
I have 3 people working for me right now.
Okay.
They are actually new. New for me. I just hired them like a month ago because I got rid of my old crew. I had some troubles with workers. Like with old workers. So I've been changing workers a lot, but right now I think I nailed it this time. So
So what did you do to find these guys? What was the difference?
Well, to find that, I just put usually my tactic is because, I just advertise. I just, put advertisements in Craigslist and, whatever it's, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, we're hiring. So, give us a call.
Did you do an interview with them or did you kind of just?
Yes. No. When I hire them, first day I want to meet with them first before they come to the job site. I meet with them. I talk to them. I ask them what kind of experience they have, any references, who they work for, what they know, what they can do, what kind of tools, pretty much all those questions. And, after this, I meet with them second time on the job site, showing them what we're doing, asking them to watch for a while. And after this, next day, I just start trying them out. Yeah.
Awesome. So what are you currently doing to find work right now? What has been working for you? What are you using? How are you finding work?
So I've been working with Home Advisor a lot, pretty much.
Great.
I recently started Google Ads again. Doesn't work that well for now, but it's been going. And I do a lot of things. Believe me, like when the weather is when the weather is a little warmer. I have someone of my crew, when we start a new project, we go to the house and I have someone from my crew going around the whole neighborhood and do the door hangers on every door.
Love it.
Yeah, go to, try to do that. Usually, when I see, if I'm slow or anything, when I see some house building, whatever, I stop and ask, hey, who's your painter? Yeah. Do you need painting? Do you need quote? Do you need this? Do you need that? I go in Instagram, I see all the local builders and text them, that's my resume. That's what we do. If you need painter, give me a call.
Wow.
So I have, pretty aggressive. Pretty aggressive.
You're very aggressive. So, I mean, that's great, man. So really what you're doing is you're putting yourself in front of as many people as possible. And then it's giving you the most opportunity. It does scare me a little bit that you also take on new construction as well as residential repaints because, it's always good. That they're both completely different. But it's also
definitely.
So go ahead.
I mean, we pretty much, we know how to do a new construction. We know how to, sorry about that. I just had someone calling me. So we know how to do it pretty much. I've been working for someone for a while, like 3 years I worked for someone every day, so I learned a lot from this
Yeah.
person. He was
Yeah.
very good at what he's
Yeah.
doing, so I learned a lot from him, and definitely, yeah. I mean, I try to
So
use everything.
let's talk sales for a second. So what is your biggest hurdle? And I think you mentioned this to me before we got started, was getting people to say yes. Was that kind of really what it
Yes,
came down to?
yes. Well, yeah. I mean, lately, I've been calling to several estimates, and it happens like I didn't get any of them, and it's been happening for a while, just
Okay.
because of my pricing, I suppose. uh, and I don't know. I mean, I think I'm pricing the things good. It's just based on our work we do, based of our tools we have, based of our
Right.
of
So let
everything.
me
So
ask you this. All right, here's what I want you to do, because I want to find out what it is that not necessarily you're doing wrong, but what you could be doing better. And I think that that's what this is about, because I think what you're doing, I mean, you've clearly made yourself successful. You have a team. You're putting yourself in a position to succeed. So let me have you do this. So I'm a customer. All right, sell me your job. Tell me how that flow works when you greet a customer. Tell me the first thing that you do.
first thing I do, I go to the house. Of course, I'm going on time. We have a meeting, let's say 10 o'clock. I try to be there 5 minutes before that
Love
all
it.
the time. Coming, like all professional. I'm coming with, my book, with my quotes, so branded SNN painting. I have a
Yeah,
business card to me all the time. So I coming
love it.
inside and we start talking about a project. They start telling me, we need to do that. For example, we need to remove wallpaper in this room. We need to do this. And I start explaining them the process. Okay, I want you to know what we're going to do with this house. We want to remove the wallpaper. We're going to skim coat the walls. We're going to apply primer. After this, we're going to sand. We're going to apply another coat
Right.
primer. We're going to apply finish. Start explaining them. And most of the times they love it, like they're like very, I know
Okay.
they want to hear what is going to happen in their house. I'm telling them
Right.
we're insured. We are, we have references. You can read our reviews in Google. I try to have as many as possible.
Right.
So I can give you, phones on the people you can call, and, try
Yeah.
to.
So you're checking. What I like to say is you're checking all the boxes. And let me ask you this. Now, when it's time to present the price, are you presenting it in person or are you sending it later?
No, I'm sending later. So most of the time, I go home. I have that application Joist I use for sending estimates. So I
Okay,
go home. I
Joyce.
taking
Yep.
Joist. I'm using Joist. So I do the quote and I send it to them as soon as possible. Pretty much same day, next
Okay.
day. I try to
So
send it
what
as soon as
happens
possible.
after you send the quote? What do you do?
I'm giving them some time. I sending text after I send the quote. Listen, this is the quote. This is the price. If they don't answer immediately, I have that tactic. Like if they don't answer on the quote, if they say nothing, I wait 1 hour and I'm like, listen, that's the quote. I send it to you. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know,
Yeah.
if you need more, information about the pricing, about the work, about the materials.
Yeah.
Just asking them, and
Asking them.
pretty much,
Okay. And
yeah.
then let me ask you this. So after that first day, how many times are you calling them?
Well, I try the first day, pretty much, if I don't have any answers and stuff, I try one more time, text or call pretty much. And if that doesn't work, I just assuming, if they don't answer, I just
Right.
assuming they don't like something, like
Got it.
they don't like
Okay,
and they
good.
don't wanna.
Good. So we're gonna first, let's go back, and I want to hit on that too. I'm gonna help you because there's some really good things that you said that I really want to help you get through. The first thing is that I'm going to assume that you're not the only painting contractor that does a good job in Massachusetts, right? You have
Right.
a very, very, very good labor pool up there of people that do very, very good work. Okay, you're not in Florida, brother. Florida is a different ball game. Up there, you have skill. Okay. If I'm a customer, okay, and I need to get quotes for a job, and you come in, you have branding, which I assume that everyone else has. You have nice business cards. Not everyone,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we're gonna level the playing
assuming.
field for the customers that reach out to good companies. They're not just gonna get a quote from anybody, because these are the customers that we want, right? So I'm going to
Right.
assume that everybody is getting good quality estimates from everybody. And then everyone comes in, and if they want wallpaper removed, they explain exactly how they do it. right? So just like you did, you're coming in, you're explaining exactly how the wallpaper removal is going to be done. You're saying we're going to skim coat it, we're going to do all this, and it's exciting. And you say, here's my references and all this, right? And then the next guy does it, and the next guy does it. Okay.
Right.
What made you different?
Well, that's the question. I mean,
Right now, and I'm going to answer this in this context. I'm just follow me because I want to get to somewhere with this. Nothing did, and
nothing.
It's not because you didn't create something to make yourself different, right? And I'm going to tell you how I make myself different every time, because I'm going to assume that everyone can paint, and I'm going to assume that they're going to get 3 quotes from good painters. So
Right.
when nothing's different, what does that lead people to do when they're selecting whether or not to hire you? What do they look for? Price. Because if nothing's different, then it just comes down to who's giving them the best price. Does that make sense?
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you're kind of blending in with the other contractors. So how can you be different? Because you said that you do everything right. You come on time. I'm going to assume the other guys come on time. You go there and you explain the processes. I'm going to assume that too. You have a nice shirt with your company logo. I'm going to assume that. I'm going to assume they have a business card. I'm going to assume that they send a nice proposal. I'm going to assume all those things. And if that's all you're doing, so is everybody else. And it really starts with the questions that you ask. It's very simple. And there's one question that I ask every single customer that I ever have done business with. And it sets me light years apart from everybody else. You know what that question is? Why?
Yeah. Why?
It's why. Why do you want your house painted? Why? What is that thing in here that said, I want to get my house painted? And it really starts like this. So why do you want your house painted? Why did you call us? And the husband might say, well, my wife has been wanting this done for 5 years. And she was really excited. So I'm kind of trying to surprise her. So now you can play into the surprise and say, oh, that's great. Well, has she chosen a color yet? Right. And then he's going to say, well, no, she's really that's one thing I'm worried about. And then you say, no problem. What I'm going to do is, if you hire me, I'm going to give you a free color consultation, and I will get someone over here to make sure that you guys find the perfect color. Right?
Yep.
SNN painting is now above the curve, right? Because you know the secret. The customer is going to lead you to the sale, brother. You have to dig a little bit. Everyone's going to do a good job. Everyone's coming in there looking at the work, looking at the work, looking at the work. You know what Tanner's doing? I'm looking at the customer, looking at the customer, looking at the customer. I want to know why I'm there, right? And then you'll get people that say, hey, so why are we painting? What's the story? Oh, well, we're actually looking to sell the house. We're trying to downsize, so are you going to go in there and start explaining how high quality the product you're going to be is? No, you're not. What you're going to be focusing on is, oh, great. Well, one thing that I could tell you is that we're going to get in and get out so you can get this house listed as soon as possible. My team of 3 works really fast. And I think I actually have a date coming up next week. So you're speaking the customer's language, right?
Right.
Other guys are coming in there still thinking about the wallpaper in the bathroom. Big difference. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. A lot of sense.
A lot of sense. And when you do it over and over, you're going to hear the same things over and over. There's going to be someone that says something along the lines of, this is my forever home. And, it really has bothered me that the trim has been scuffed up so much from the dogs and the kids. So guess what you're going to say? Oh my goodness, I can understand. And actually, we invest in an enamel coating that does a really good job of protecting the baseboard. And guess what else we'll do? We give free touch-ups for the first 6 months. So we want to make sure that this paint job lasts as long as possible for you so you can really enjoy it without it getting scuffed up. So you just call us and we'll come over and we'll make sure that this gets touched up for you. We'll do it 1 time a month if that happens. How does that sound?
Sounds very good. Yeah, sounds something
right? Because you're speaking their language, and then what it's doing is it's making them feel like, wait a minute, that's great that the other guys care about the project, but Nick cares about us and our needs. And when people feel like their needs are being met in business, they tend to lean toward the person that's meeting their needs. At the end of the day, we know that people will pay more money for a better quality service. We know that. We know it. But it's your job to make them do it by showcasing why it's worth more to pay for you. And you can't compete with project. You can't. You can't. So that's the first part of kind of what I wanted to help you with. So do you think that you could start pivoting in that direction and using that question?
I definitely can, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely something I'm looking to do. I'm willing to do pretty much everything so I can keep the flow going.
We're gonna practice real quick. All right. So I'm dead serious. I want you to practice with me. So I'm a customer. Knock on the door.
Right.
Knock on the door.
Yeah,
You're
knocking on
knocking.
the
All
door.
right. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So what you're looking to be done? Can we see the project? So how
See the
are you going to
project.
proceed?
So showing you the project. Let's say I show you the project, and then your question would be after that. So what's the story?
Yeah, what's the story? Why do you want to paint your house? What do you want to complete that project?
I mean, I've lived here for 20 years. The paint is fading on the outside really bad. And I'm really worried that it's going to make the wood rot, when wintertime comes. So it's just something that I'm really worried about.
Oh, okay. We can take care definitely of that. We know how to, we know how to do that. We can prep correctly. We can do exactly the correct work you need. We definitely, we can. And usually I start showing because I'm pretty much prepared, because I pretty much know what they're calling me. So I have some pictures and stuff and some other things. So I come in and say, listen, look at that house, the same pretty much story, like look at the trim, how it looked before, look at how it looked after, and people seems to like that.
They like it.
They like it.
Remember, look, and this is why I'm doing this. You're going the other way again. I told you what was important to me. I told you that I'm worried that the wood's going to rot, and you're showing me pictures of other people's houses. So you need to go back to me and say, actually, we use a product that has a 25-year warranty. That's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's usually next thing I'm saying. And also, we use this one for here, which is going to prevent. We use that kind of primer bonding. We use that kind of product, 2 coats. So pretty much
but here's the thing. Now, if I came to you and said, yeah, I'm getting ready to sell this house, right?
Right.
Are you going to tell me all that stuff?
No, actually, no.
What's important to me if I'm selling the house?
Just to make it look good.
Make it look good, so what?
Money, yeah.
I could get paid,
Right.
I could get paid, and you're stopping me from getting paid because I can't get paid until I get the house painted.
Right.
And you're telling me about bonding and top coats and expensive products, and you didn't even ask me why I'm getting the house painted. So you're not speaking my language.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah.
To see that because ultimately that is going to be the difference maker, is helping you understand that you're going to separate yourself because you're going to be speaking the language of the customer, and they will tell you every time why they want the house painted. Okay. For example, I got my house painted, right? Want to know why I got my house painted? Because my wife wanted to get the house painted so bad. She wanted to change the colors. So what was most important to me? Helping her pick the perfect colors. Right?
Exactly.
So the motivations are going to be the same after you do it so much. And then you'll have answers pre-designed in your head on what to say. So the second part of your sales process is the follow-up. I'm a little concerned that you're only following up after the first day.
Right.
And you want to know why I'm concerned about that? Because usually people get estimates that span out for a week and a half. Not everyone can come right away. So what happens is that you might be the first person, and I assume that you are because you're on it. So you're probably the first person to give them an estimate usually, right?
Usually I try to be as fast as I can. Yeah, I try to be the first person in the job to show. I try to call when I got the lead from Home Advisor. I try to call. So pretty much I try to be on the top, try to be very fast, try to be immediately.
Great. And that to me is the same way I am. It's a blessing, and it also can be a curse, because if they take too long to get estimates, they kind of forget about you. So what I do is I always follow up. I almost follow up 5 to 7 times before anyone even tells me. I need to know, have you hired somebody already? Okay, do you have any questions? Because ultimately, I want them to remember that Tanner was here. And more importantly, I want them to know that Tanner communicates very well. And I think that there's people in your queue of people that you've given proposals to that ultimately still need to be followed up with, that you've thought and assumed that they don't need to be followed up with because they went with somebody else. You don't know that until they verbally have told you, Nick, we hired somebody else. They may have questions that the other guy had told them that they would do, and they might say, actually, the other painter said that he was going to, spot prime the walls before he painted. I'm just using an example. Nick,
right.
That included in your quote too? And you wouldn't have gotten an opportunity to level the playing field unless you called back.
Right.
So one day is not enough. You should be following up for at least 2 weeks before you even think. 2 weeks. It's worth it. This is big money.
Definitely, yeah. No, I'm completely, I completely agree with that. Definitely,
And one thing about the app you're using, I use Joist as well until Dripjobs comes out. But one thing that you have right now is something that should tell you when people open up your quote again. Do you use that on Joist?
Yes. I'm paying for that thing. Yeah.
Very important piece of information. Do you check that often?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have all my notifications on, so when they do that, I always get the banner and says this and this. Just happened yesterday. Someone opened my quote 3 times, so I'm thinking they're looking at it.
So did you call them?
Well, I just give them the quote yesterday, and since then they open it 3 times. I tried to call once, they didn't answer, so I'm gonna call probably later today again.
Good. So call later today 3 times probably means, is this included? They have a lot of questions if they're opening up 3 times. And when you call, sometimes a lot of people don't know what to say when you're following up. I always say, hey, I'm just calling to find out if you had any questions. Okay. I don't say, hey, have you decided to hire us yet? No. I say, hey, I was just following up to see if you had any questions. I was following up to see if you had any questions.
Should I call or should I text?
Both. I think calling is always going to be more personal.
Right. But I just don't want to,
Yeah, I would call as much as you can.
Okay.
Call as much as you can. So do you have any questions about and let me ask you, was what I helped you with kind of helpful? Did some of those things
help? Definitely. No, definitely. Some of those things I'm definitely going to use them for sure. I'm open to use everything which is going to bring me more jobs. So I definitely, that's was the reason I contacted you, because I want to, use as much as I can, sign whatever, all the information I can use just to get the jobs. That's my main goal.
That should be your focus going forward. And I think that just make that a note whenever you go up. Find out why. You need to find out why. We know what they want done, but we need to find out why they want it.
That's going to be my next.
We know they want their house painted. We got to find out why they want it painted, because that's going to be the difference maker for you. That's what's going to separate you from the other guys. No one else is asking this question. All those guys care about is what they want done, not why they want it done. So that's going to be the difference maker for you, brother. And I think that's going to help. So
definitely, I'm going to use that for sure.
I'm excited,
no
man.
brainer.
You have to do me a favor and reach back out to me and let me know how that works.
Oh, definitely. I'll be in touch with you. I'll definitely. I've been following up with you. I've been listening to the podcast, as I say, looking at all those posts and everything. And definitely, and keep doing it for sure.
Thank you. I sure will. So I think that'll do it for today. On our breakthrough. I hope maybe you had a breakthrough. Did it work?
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, I definitely, as I said.
So right now, what I would do, honestly, and I'm going to give you something actionable to do right now. Go through the last 10 proposals that you sent out, and you need to call them.
Definitely. That was in my mind. So, yeah.
You have to do it. And I guarantee you that you'll get a job today. Guarantee it.
I definitely will update you with that. I definitely going to do that. And
take a screenshot when they send the deposit.
I will do that for sure.
All right, brother.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time and information. Thank you.
Hey, I just want to take a second to thank you for joining me here on the Contractor Secrets podcast. I'm just going to take this opportunity to let you know that my passion is coaching people, helping people. I've changed my Instagram name to @contractorcoach. And I did that because that is my passion. I want to help you. So please reach out to me. If you have an issue going on in your business, send me an email, find me on Instagram, message me, and let's do a breakthrough session. I want to work through your problems in your business to help you get to that next level. And one thing that I always say is this, the difference between those that get over the humps and the hurdles in business is just a change in perspective. And that's what I plan to offer you. So get with me, message me, allow me to help you take your business to the next level.